Hello children, today we are going to discuss chapter life processes. This is 6th chapter from NCERT book of class 10. What are life processes? The processes which maintain our body functions and necessary for our survival are called life processes. All those processes which together keep the living organism alive and perform tasks to maintain the body are called life processes. वो processes जो हमें जिंदा रहने के लिए जरूरी हैं उनको हम life processes बोलते हैं. Their main parts are nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. Means कोई भी अगर living body है तो उसमें ये 4 processes जरूर होंगे. Nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. We will discuss these processes one by one. First is nutrition. Nutrition means taking nutrients from our food. Food is having carbohydrates, fats, proteins, water, vitamins and mineral, etc. We have two types of nutrition system, autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic means it is for plants, those which can prepare their own food by basic inorganic substances. In presence of water and carbon dioxide, plants prepare their food. They need sunlight, chlorophyll for this process. That is autotrophic mode of nutrition. In heterotrophic mode of nutrition, organism depends upon other organism for their survival. Like human beings, we are depending upon plants for our food. We are depending upon animals for our food. That is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. What is method of nutrition in plants? The process is photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, plants are absorbing carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. They are giving you glucose, oxygen, and 6 water molecules are lost by leaves in the form of water of transpiration. Right? This is chemical reaction of photosynthesis. Plants are absorbing carbon dioxide from environment. Water they are absorbing through their roots. In presence of sunlight, chlorophyll is absorbing that sunlight and it is converting carbon dioxide and water to glucose, and oxygen is liberated out in this process which we are using in our respiration, and water molecules are lost by plants in the form of water of transpiration. What are events occurring during photosynthesis? First, absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll absorb light energy from sun. Then it is breaking down water molecule to form hydrogen and oxygen. H2O is breaking to form H2 plus O2 separately. Then reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. Carbon dioxide is absorbing hydrogen and it is converting to carbohydrates. This is process. Plants are having green pigment chlorophyll. This is having chloroplast in it. Plants are absorbing sunlight on their outer membrane and they are using the sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. Then we are having heterotrophic mode of nutrition. We have 3 types: saprophytes, parasites and holozoic mode of nutrition. Saprophytes are those which depends upon dead and decaying matter for their food. Like we have fungi, we are having bacteria, mushrooms are also example of saprophytes. Then we have parasitic mode of nutrition. The mode of nutrition in which organism is getting food from other body, that is body of host. Guest is taking food from the body of host, that is parasitic mode of nutrition. We are having cascata, amarbale, that is getting food from the body of host tree, that is parasitic mode of nutrition. Holozoic mode of nutrition, the mode of nutrition which we as human are using, that is in which we are having ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation of food, that all processes which are occurring in our body, that is holozoic mode of nutrition. See then how nutrition is happening in humans. First of all, we are taking food from our mouth. Our teeth are breaking the food. Then tongue is doing two things. It is tasting the food and it is rolling the food inside our mouth. Then we are having salivary glands in our mouth. Mouth is producing saliva. Salivary glands contain enzymes which helps to break the food. Starch is broken down to form simple sugar, that is glucose, in our mouth. Then we have esophagus. Esophagus is a tube-like structure. It is a pipe which is having peristaltic movement, and through that food is moving from mouth to inner part of the body. It is moving to stomach. Stomach is a large organ which expands when food enters in it. In esophagus, we are having peristaltic movement. One part of this tube, esophagus, when food is entering in, is opened and other part is closed. When food is moving down, then this part will again close, it will contract and the lower part will expand. This rhythmic contraction and relaxation is called peristaltic movement. Then we are having gastric glands. These glands are secreting HCl, pepsin, and mucus. HCl makes medium acidic. It kills the harmful bacteria which comes with the food. Then pepsin, it helps to break down protein into amino acid. Then we are having mucus. Mucus protects the inner lining of stomach. As we are having HCl in our stomach, we are having coating of mucus in inner lining, which protects our stomach to react with HCl. Then we are having small intestine. It is site where complete digestion of food is taking place. Liver is producing bile juice and bile salt. Bile juice makes the food alkaline, and bile salt break down the large fat globules into smaller ones. Large fat globule is converting to smaller ones. That breakdown of fat globules is called emulsification. Then gallbladder is storehouse of bile juice and bile salt. Pancreas are having trypsin and lipase. Trypsin break down the protein into amino acids. In pancreas, trypsin is doing the same work as pepsin was doing in the stomach. They are breaking down the protein into amino acids. Then we are having lipase. Lipase break down the emulsified fats. Fat is broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. Starch is broken into sugar, and protein is broken down into amino acids. Here word is not only acid, it is amino acid. Then food is moving to small intestine. Small intestine is a place where complete digestion of food is taking place. It is having finger-like projections that are called villis. Villis are having large surface area where they can absorb the digest food which is coming to there. And the villis supplied the food to blood vessels. Blood vessels take the food and they are moving that food to each part of our body. Then it is going to large intestine. The unabsorbed food sent to large intestine, where it is absorbed by the walls, and rest of the material is removed by anus. That was about the process of digestion in human beings. Then comes respiration. Respiration is process in which organisms obtain energy by combining oxygen and glucose. That is called respiration. Process of breathing is inhaling and exhaling of gases. We are inhaling oxygen and exhaling out carbon dioxide. The process is called breathing. Breathing is a smaller part of respiration. In respiration, the food you are taking in is broken down into its smaller components. We can have two types of respiration, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic means production of energy in presence of oxygen, and anaerobic means producing energy from food in the absence of or lack of oxygen. Then we are having the cycle. Glucose in food is broken down in cytoplasm of cell to form pyruvate. Pyruvate are C3H4O3, and energy is produced in this process. They can further be divided into three parts. Pyruvate in yeast cell, they are breaking down in absence of oxygen, and conversion of ethanol is taking place in it along with carbon dioxide and energy. In muscle cells, Lack of oxygen is there, then it is converting to lactic acids. This is a reason of our muscle cramps. And in presence of oxygen, when it happens in mitochondria, it happens in presence of oxygen, it is converting to carbon dioxide and energy. Means in absence of oxygen, this is taking place, and in a lack of oxygen, this is taking place. Means this yeast and this production of lactic acid in muscles, both are examples of anaerobic respiration. And this is example of respiration which is taking place in presence of oxygen. So it can be termed as aerobic respiration. Then production of energy is taking place in the form of adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphates are broken down into further adenosine diphosphate, then adenosine monophosphate. Along with that, energy is produced. So ATPs are called energy currency of our life cells. Then we have respiration in plants. In plants, respiration is taking place and gaseous exchange occurs in plants. It happens at 3 points. First is stomatas. Under the surface of leaves, there are stomatas. Stomatas are having covering by guard cells. It's like that. When the process of photosynthesis is taking place, gases are exchanged. Oxygen is produced and carbon dioxide is taken in. At that time, stomata opens and oxygen is moving out and carbon dioxide is getting in. That process is happening with the help of guard cells. Then we have lenticels in the stem. In the stem also gases are exchanged, and on the surface of roots also gases are exchanging. During respiration in plants, glucose is broken down to form carbon dioxide and water along with energy. Next we are having is transportation. In transportation, first is we are having transportation in human beings. Transportation is as simple. Transportation means movement of food and the other things in a body. Blood is that connective tissue which helps in transportation of substances. It transport blood, it transport metabolic waste from the one part to another part. Then the main components of blood are, first is plasma. It is yellow colored fluid. It transport food, carbon dioxide, waste product. Then we have RBCs, red blood cells. They contain hemoglobin which transport oxygen. Then we have platelets. Platelets helps to make blood clots. Then we have WBCs, white blood cells. They fight against harmful bacteria, viruses, and germs. Then how this blood will move from one part to another in the body? That is because of high pressure generated by heart. Heart gives pressure to the blood and it is moving from one part to another. How this heart works? Heart is a muscular organ. It is having two sides separated by a muscular wall. This is muscular wall known as septum. It is separating different parts of heart. It is having four chambers, four parts in all: left atrium, left ventricle, and right ventricle. These two are on left hand side, atrium and ventricle, and we are writing left with them, and they are on right hand side. This is right atrium and right ventricle. This is vena cava. It is collecting blood from upper part of our body and it is collected in this part. And this is vena cava which is collecting blood from our lower part of body and it is collected in this part. When blood is collected in this valve opens and blood can move down. Blood is moving in this part. After that, this valve closed and this blood is moving through this side. And by this pulmonary artery, this deoxygenated blood is moving. Arteries generally carry oxygenated blood, but this is exceptional case. Pulmonary artery carries impure blood in it. It is moved to lungs. Then blood is moving to lungs. At that place, it is leaving carbon dioxide. It is dropping carbon dioxide there and it is combining with oxygen. Then oxygenated blood is coming back and it is reaching in this part of left atrium. Then it is moving to left ventricle. When this upper part contracts, blood is moving to lower part. In this way, it is shifting. And when this part contracts, then this valve open and through aorta, it is moving to whole body. This is easy explanation how it works. These are chambers of heart. This is human body and this is deoxygenated blood collected by vena cavas. Vena cavas are giving blood to heart, which is deoxygenated blood. This is moving through pulmonary artery to lungs. At that place, it is dropping carbon dioxide and mixing with oxygen. Then oxygen-rich blood is moving by pulmonary veins to heart, and from heart by aorta it is moving to whole body. Arteries are carrying oxygenated blood from heart. It is having high pressure, so their walls are thick and they are elastic. And veins, they are carrying deoxygenated blood from different parts of our body, so they are less elastic and they are also thin. Then lymph is a transporter fluid like blood. It is released in the walls of capillaries. Some plasma, protein and blood cells escape into intercellular spaces in the tissues to form lymph. It is colorless substance. It drains away the excess tissue metabolism. Lymph, like blood, is transporting agent, but what is difference between them? Lymph is colorless, but blood is red in color. Lymphs are containing plasma and lesser number of WBCs and platelets. Blood is containing plasma, RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Lymphs helps in body defense and it acts in immune system. Blood helps in circulation of oxygen and carbon dioxide in whole body. Lymphs lacks proteins, but blood contains protein, calcium and phosphorus. Lymphs transport nutrients from tissue cells to the blood through lymphatic vessels. Blood transport nutrient and oxygen from one organ to another. Lymph flow is slow and in blood flow is fast. That was about transportation in human body. Now we have transportation in plants. In plants, we have two types of transporting system, that is xylem and phloem. Xylem conducts water and mineral from roots to leaves. Xylem जमीन से water और minerals absorb करके बाकी के सारे parts को देता है plant के. Phloem takes food from the leaves. Phloem food को डिफरेंट पार्ट्स तक लेके जाता है. जाइलम जमीन से लेके आता है मिनरल्स, वाटर, so it works in one direction. It is unidirectional from ground to upper part of the plant. Phloem is taking food to different parts of the plant. So ये दोनों तरफ मूव करेगा, ऊपर और नीचे. It is bidirectional. Xylem is having 4 types of cells in it: trachea, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber. And phloem is having phloem fiber, seed tube, companion cells and phloem parenchyma. Xylem works on the basis of transpiration in leaves. By transpiration, leaves are liberating out water. So there is a suction provided in the xylem. Because of that, it is shifting water to upper part. Phloem works on the principle of translocation. It is transferring the material food from one part to another by translocation. And last is excretion. The metabolic activities in body generate many kinds of waste. The process of removal of waste is called excretion. In metabolic wastes, we are having 3 types of waste: digestive waste, respiratory waste, and nitrogenous waste, which contain urea, uric acid, and water. Digestive waste we have discussed with the digestive system. Respiratory waste, that is removal of carbon dioxide by body, we have discussed with respiration. And nitrogenous waste, that is urea, uric acid, and water, we will discuss now. This is human excretory system. Human excretory system is having four parts. It is kidneys. Kidneys filter the blood and remove waste. Then uterus, it drain out urine from kidney to the urinary bladder. Then urinary bladder, it stores the urine, and urethra, it transmit urine outside the body. Kidneys have filtration units that are called nephrons. These nephron helps in removal of waste from the body. This is aorta. This is vena cava. They are taking blood to the kidneys, and kidneys, they are acting as filtration unit. Filter करने के लिए इनमें है क्या? They are having nephrons. Every kidney is having nearly 10 lakh nephrons, which are acting as filtration unit. Then this waste is collected by this ureter. Both kidneys are having one ureter, and these are collecting this waste in the urinary bladder. And when it gets filled, then opening from this part, urethra opens, and nitrogenous waste in the form of urine is removed by the body. That is nephron. Nephrons are filtration units of kidney. It consists of tubes which are containing ducts and cup-like structure known as Bowman's capsule. This is Bowman's capsule. These are capillaries, and these capillaries are at the end. Here, this U part, that is called Hallen's loop. Bowman's capsule filter blood and collect urine in this part. And Hallen's loop, it reabsorb the material like glucose, amino acid, water that are reabsorbed in this part. This is collecting duct. At every point here, there are nephrons. Nephrons are attached at all the parts. They are doing this procedure. They are removing waste, nitrogenous waste from the body. They are collecting in Bowman's capsule. Then we have excretion in plants. Plants remove oxygen by the stomatas. Excess water is removed by the process of transpiration. Plants also lose some old leaves and barks, and some gums also are released by the plants. That's all about excretion. Thank you.